What's up, Genesis friends? Today we're going to be doing a video on the new 2026 GV60. This is the performance model, which is top of the line, so we're going to be going over almost everything on here. It's going to be a full tutorial. And just so you know, this is completely refreshed. You've got a bigger battery, it uses the Tesla charging port, and there's just been a few changes on it cosmetically, and there's a new interior that I'm going to show you if you didn't see my video on it. It's the Prussian blue, crazy interior, so we'll get to that as well. So just to start our video off, what I'm going to do is we're going to start with our key here, and we've got our usual stuff. You've got your lock button, your unlock, that will pop the lift gate. This is your panic button right here, and then over here on the left, that is how you remote start your car. So if you ever want to remote start it, you always have to lock it first. So you go press lock, flip it over, hold this down right after, and there you go. That just started. Now this is called remote smart parking. Basically, you can make your car roll forward and backward once you've remote started it. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna roll it forward for you. I'm gonna push this, hold this forward button in. So that's forward, and then back a little bit. There you go. So that's kind of good for getting in and out of tight parking spots. And then I'm just going to turn it off again just by pressing that hold button. Walking up to the car, you never have to touch your key fob. You'll just approach the door. If the handles don't pop out, you just push those lines right there, and the doors will pop open. And then you just press it again to lock it up. Coming back here, get your lift gate button right here. They started including these stickers that you can take off because people couldn't find their lift gate. So button is down there to open that up. A new addition for the 2026 is now you get a rear view camera in the back for a digital rear view mirror. So I'll show you that as well. Your charging door is right here. Just push right here to open it up. So you'll notice, now we've got the Tesla plug in here, so you'll just use that now. It's very nice. Something important to know about these cars is that while the car is charging, the car is going to hold onto the cable. It's not going to let you pull it out while it's charging. So if you need to get going while the car is still charging, make sure you press the unlock button on your key fob, and then it'll give you a small window to pull the cable out. So that's going to be this little unlock button right here. So I always like to just point that out on our cars. So let's head over here. Yeah, I told you this interior was a little crazy. And again, this is called Prussian blue. So you've got all of our window controls here. This is child door locks and windows, so if that light is on, then everybody's locked in. These are your memory buttons right here, so once you get everything how you want it, you just hold down the 1 button or hold down the 2 button. You adjust your side mirrors with this. You just twist left and then use the arrows. Twist right, use the arrows. This little middle button right here will fold in your side mirrors if you push it. Like that. Coming over here, and you'll have to excuse the rag I've got down here. We're trying to avoid getting as much dirt in here. Parking brake, lift gate right here, illumination brightness for your screens, and then that turns off traction control. You can set your lights to auto right here, which I usually do. Adjust your steering wheel right there. Seat controls. So massage seat right here. This one will this is actually your one touch or one press relaxation mode. So if you were hanging out in your car or charging or something like that, you can press this button and the car will just go into lazy boy mode and fold back for you. This will extend the front of the the seat for more support, forward and backward, up and down with this one, and then that tilts the back of the seat like that. This is a 4-way lumbar support, so you can dial in the support on your back here, and then this controls your bolsters right here. By pulling these up, you'll notice your bolsters will squeeze in on the side, giving you a little hug. All right, let's jump in and we'll go from there. All right, first thing I like to do once I get the car turned on is we want to make sure you get your profile all set up. At this point, you want to have your connected services all set up. Whoever sells it to you, they will set up your account, and then you'll need to finalize it in the car. You're going to go through mygenesis.com, log in, go through all of your terms and conditions and set up your PIN and everything. And then the very last step is that you're going to get in the car. It's going to give you a QR code that you have to scan, and then that will officially activate your connected services account. So that's an important thing to do. That's the app that's going to let you do remote commands to the car and allow you to get your updates over the air and everything. So, all right, so we're going to set up your profile. First thing we want to do is come to your home screen here. I like to just push this little button right here, that little icon, and then you want to make sure you're in driver 1 right here. If you have connected services set up, most likely that's going to change automatically and it's going to show your name. So first thing you want to do is you're going to just change your name here. So you just tap that and then you'd put in your name right here. I'm going to go back to screen. A password, that's going to be a 4-digit PIN. And then you'll want to do a fingerprint identification. Important to know that you need to have both keys in the car to do this on the fingerprint reader, so or programming it. So make sure you've got both keys in the car. You're going to hit fingerprint identification. You're going to put in your 4-digit PIN, and then it's basically going to, it's kind of like setting up a new phone. It's just going to have you move your finger around in different positions, setting that up. I'm not going to do that on this car, just I don't have both keys on me, but and then an important thing, once you do that, turn off profile lock. It's going to drive you crazy. So profile lock would require your fingerprint to unlock the screen every single time you start the car. So turn that off, and that will save you a lot of headache. Okay, so that is the profile. You can also do a profile image, which will be the little, basically the little circle, the icon that I showed you up here at the top. Once you do that, it's important to get your memory all squared away. So at this point, you want to kind of move your seat around. You're going to adjust your wheels, or sorry, your mirrors how you want it, like that. Twist that over. Get that squared away. Your steering wheel is also going to be part of your memory, so do that. And then also, if you want to do your head-up display, you'll notice on the performance here, we have a head-up display. If you do want to change that, you do that in the settings here. So what you do, press your setup button, and then you're going to just hit vehicle. And just so you know, I'm using my dial right here to do all this. You're going to go down to head-up display, select that, go down to adjustment control. And then, so not only does this twist and select, but it also bumps. So you'll notice I'm going to kind of bump this around. So you want to bump it down to display height and then twist from there. So you'll see as I twist it to the right, that's how you can make your head-up display go higher or lower. So we're just going to put that back down here. All right, so once you get everything how you want it, if you remember, we've got our memory buttons down here. So you're just going to press and hold the 1. There you go. So that just saved everything to the 1 button. Important thing to know is that this car gives you 2 memory settings per driver profile. So if you're going to be doing, the easiest thing to do is just keep the car in 1 profile. Like if you've got 2 different drivers, just go driver 1 and driver 2. Or button 1 and button 2, keeping the car in the same profile. Or you can do 2 different profiles. Just make sure that you know that you're the 1 button in your profile. So that's important. Okay, let's go ahead and connect we're going to connect our phones to the Bluetooth. So you're going to grab your phone, you're going to go into settings and then Bluetooth. And then in the car, we're going to press setup, device connections. I'm just going to delete this out of here real quick. Okay, so device connections, and then you'll just hit add, and then you'll look for GV60.
Turn Bluetooth on in your mobile device in order to search.
So we're going to scroll down on our phone. We're going to look for GV60. Sorry. We're going to tap GV60, and then pair, and then allow, and then our prompt for CarPlay or Android Auto is going to come up, and we'll just hit connect right there. We're going to hit yes right there. We'll get one more prompt on the phone here and just say allow on it. Coming up. There you go. Okay. Easy as that. So that is how your phone is connected to the car. You've got wireless CarPlay now or Android Auto. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to press this radio button right here just to give us something to work with. We're going to... Okay, we're going to start with the right side of our steering wheel here. So we've got our volume up and down here, and then you can just push it straight in to mute your music. That'll just mute it like that. Now, in the radio mode here, if I want to tune the station, I can just roll. There's a bunch of different ways, but you can just roll this wheel. You can find what you like, and then you can save it as a preset with a star right here. So you're going to save your presets with that star. I always like to turn on HD radio as well. So all of your presets are going to line up down the bottom of the screen here. So if you've got multiple presets, you're going to see a bunch of stations in there. So that brings me back over to the right side of the wheel. If you want to go through your presets, you just swipe your finger across, just your thumb across these. So if we had another preset in here, in fact, I'll go ahead and put something else. There we go. So if you want to go through your presets, you just swipe your finger across it. Well, I didn't need to save it. There we go. So you'll see that bumping back and forth, swiping it. Now, if you're listening to music from your phone, that's what you do to skip to the next song. So important thing to know. Speaking of that, this button right here can be programmed to go through all of your audio sources that you listen to. So let's say you like music from your phone, but you also like the radio and satellite radio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press this, and it's going to bring up my menu here. And now I'm just going to select everything that I want to be included in that rotation. So phone projection is going to be Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So that's a good one. And then we'll just do FM. And you can do satellite radio as well. You'll get 3 months for free with this car. I would just press that home button to go back. Okay, so now this button will just cycle through all of our sources that we've got going. I'd have to get something playing on my phone for it to actually. I don't have anything playing on Apple CarPlay, so that's why I didn't bring it up. All right. If somebody calls you, you answer and hang up with this button here. And then what I like to do on this one is I always like to program this star. It's a customizable shortcut. I always like to program this to be a shortcut to Apple CarPlay. So I'll push that. It'll bring up my menu again, and I'll just find phone projection. So now, it doesn't matter where I'm at. Now I can just press the star right here, and that's going to be a shortcut to Apple CarPlay. It's kind of nice. Now, not only does this go through your radio presets and skipping songs, but it also controls your widgets up here. This little square on the screen. So what you do if you do get this screen with a little tutorial, you'll just go ahead and get through this. So single push, 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 and then in the last one you want to hold it in, and then it won't show up again. Okay, so how you control your widget up there is you give this a single push first. You go one push, and then you'll notice that these dots showed up on the bottom and the side. So now you can swipe side to side and up and down and go through all these things here. So this is where you'll find like your tire pressure, power distribution. You can reset your trip to see what, how many miles you're getting per kilowatt hour, things like that. You'll notice that it always gives you instructions on the bottom. It says OK times 2 to reset. So that means we'll do 2 pushes, 1, 2, everything goes to 0. Once you find what you're looking for, then you just give it 1 push again, and that will just kind of lock it in and set it there. If you do want to get rid of it completely, you'll notice it says hold to close. So we'll press and hold this in, and it'll go away. And then just another push will bring it back. All right, perfect. Since we're still on the right side of the steering wheel, boost button here. So this car already has 429 horsepower. Pushing this button is going to give you a 10-second window, taking you up to 483 horsepower. So exciting little feature there. You'll love it. Okay, coming over to the left side of the steering wheel. This turns on cruise control. And the nice thing about Genesis cars is you don't have to press a second button to set your speed. The minute you get to the speed that you want, you just give that a push. You'll turn on cruise and set you at the speed. And then you can adjust your speed up and down, just bumping this like that. And not only does this bump up and down, but it clicks straight in like that. And that's a pause and resume for cruise control. So let's say you've got 75 miles an hour programmed in, and then you have to hit your brakes for whatever reason, or you want to just temporarily pause cruise control. That would pause it, and then to resume, you just give that a click, and it'll resume your 75 without having to bump your way back up. This is your adaptive cruise. This will adjust the distance between you and the car in front of you. So if you've never used adaptive cruise control, it's very handy and cool. Basically, if you are going faster than the car in front of you, then your car is going to slow down to maintain a certain distance from the car in front of you, and you can adjust distance 1 through 4 with this button. All right, this button right here, this controls lane follow assist and lane keep assist. So lane follow assist is the feature where the car is going to steer for you, and it's going to proactively keep you centered in your lane. Now, a single push turns it on. So you go, yep, it doesn't want to turn on for me because we're not going, which is actually kind of funny because that's new for the 2026s. But you'll look for, there would be a little steering wheel right up here that would show up, and when that steering wheel is green is when you know it's active and it's keeping you centered in your lane. Something important to know is that's going to come on automatically with cruise control if you're on the freeway. So it's part of the whole highway driving assist package. If you're on the freeway, you turn on cruise, that will come on automatically. Now, this one right here is called lane keep assist. This is the feature that's more reactive. It's waiting for you to drift over a line, and then it's going to yank you back into your lane. And that can be turned off and on with a long press and hold of this button. So I'm just going to hold that in, and there it goes. So that turns it off. Okay, this one right here basically just gives you different view options on your cluster. So you can have your widget there in front of you. You can have your trip information, and yeah, and then this is the one that I kind of prefer and recommend, because if there's cars in your blind spot, little red beams are going to show up there. It's just a cool safety feature. And Apple Maps can also go up there as well. This dot is a customizable shortcut button. You can, once again, just personal preference, whatever you want to program that to. And this star is another customizable button. If you want to go into an analog gauge, you can click this straight in, and that will go to analog gauges. Coming down here, drive mode button. So you've got a few different drive modes. You just push it, and it'll let you know what we're in. So sport mode, the car is going to give you everything it's got. On this one, your suspension's going to tighten up, and it's pretty fun. The My drive mode is a customizable drive mode where you can kind of Frankenstein your own thing, where you can take bits and pieces from each drive mode and make your own. You've got a snow mode here and eco mode. This is basically kind of wimpy mode, less power, better range, but this car already has so much power, you'd be fine in eco for sure. And then comfort is just your all-around balanced drive mode, so that's what you'll probably be in most of the time. I want to go over these little paddle shifters behind the wheel. You'll notice you got a plus on the left, you got a minus on the right. This is called regen braking. Basically, it uses friction brakes to regenerate power back to the battery. You'll know what level you're at with this little guy right here. So right now we're just at level 1. If I give this plus a squeeze, you'll notice it goes up to 2, and then 3, and then 4 is the max. 4 is, this iPedal is so, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's crazy. You basically don't even need a brake pedal. It's so serious. So some people love it, some people hate it, but you can try that out if you want. But most people just prefer actually just a lower level. But once again, personal preference, just mess around with it and see what you like. But that how the regen braking works is the higher the level, the more intense that sensation is going to be when you take your foot off the accelerator. You're going to feel those brakes grip and your car is going to slow down. So the fun thing about this performance model is that you get virtual gear shifts as well. So you can turn something on where you can instead of regen braking, you can turn these into paddle shifters, and it's kind of a virtual gear shift. Okay, let's come over here. Air conditioning is easy. Just dial in your temperatures, bumping these up and down. You've got a little fan and a big fan to control your fan speed, like that. And then you've got these waves here where you can select the waves and where you want the airflow to go or not to go. When it comes to electric cars, they're kind of stingy with their power. So if it's just you in the car, you can hit driver only, and it's only just going to air condition the driver's seat. So that's kind of a nice thing to know of. You've got your ventilated seats, heated seats, and then this is your heated steering wheel right here. Since we're down here, let's just stick with this section right here. Auto hold is I like to call it basically a parking brake while you're in drive. So it allows you to come to a complete, like be in drive, come to a complete stop. The car will hold you in place and you can take your foot off the brake and you won't roll forward. And it works in reverse as well. So I use it every time I go through the drive-through. Every time you come to a complete stop, you don't want to keep holding in the brake. You also don't want to keep putting your car in park. This is a really good option for you, just using the auto hold. You know it's working when you give it a push, and then down here it's going to say auto hold in white. So if we were in drive right now and your foot was on the brake, that would turn green, and that lets you know that the car is holding you in place and you can take your foot off the brake. And then you just hit the accelerator to get going again. This is your parking view camera. Brings up all the angles on your car. So this will be all your forward angles, your front angles. This will be all your rear angles there. And then this is your 360-degree view of your car here. Very good for saving your wheels. So let's turn that off here. And then parking sensors, just leave that light on so the car beeps at you when you're getting close to hitting things. Okay, let's talk about navigating. So if you're going to be using CarPlay or Android Auto, it's pretty easy. You can basically just say, "Hey Siri," and then she would pop up, and you can give, any kind of phone call that you need to make or any kind of navigational command that you want to make. You can do it that way. You can also access Siri by doing a long press of this button right here. So you just hold this down, and then she pops up.
Sorry, I don't understand.
If you want to use the car's navigation system, we're going to press map right here. So this is what the car's map screen looks like. If you feel like you need to turn down the guidance volume, you basically just press the bottom of it and then hit this guidance button.
Guidance is at this volume. Guidance will be at this volume.
So you can control that, or if you want to shut it off completely, you just tap right there. Okay, let's say you want to find something. Oh, there we go. Let's say you want to find some. Oh, well, let me show you real quick. You're going to love this. If you twist the dial, this is how you can just zoom in and out with the car's navigation. So good feature there. I was just talking with a guy yesterday that he was completely lost and he had no idea where he was, and he found that feature on his navigation, and he loved it. So yeah, take advantage of it. Let's say you want to find something. Once again, you've got your voice option right here, where you can just press this button, and then
Broader network.
And then the car would beep, and then you would just give it a command. You can say navigate to or find. Yep. So it'll work a lot better like once you've got connected services all set up, then it'll work perfect. But yeah, it likes the word navigate or find or call pretty much. But if you want to do it manually, then you're going to start with your nav button right here. It's really easy. Just hit search, type in whatever you want to find. So it can be the address. You know, if you want to go to Costco, you start typing that in. It gives you suggestions over here, and then it would bring up the closest results for you. I'm just going to show you what that looks like. You hit route to get that started.
Starting route guidance. Turn right and then turn left.
Now, if you ever need to cancel a route, you change your mind and you don't want her yelling at you, you just look for this X right here and you press that. You could also, once again, you've got your voice button here. You could press that, car will beep, and then you'd say cancel route. So that you've got that option as well. So it's really easy. You can save your favorite addresses as well. You've got a bunch of different ways of doing that, but if you just press nav and then save places, you would just go home, and then search, type in whatever you're looking for, and then hit OK. So you could do that for each of your favorite places that you want to save. Okay, coming up here, so you've got your home link system right here. So these can be programmed to a garage door or a gate or whatever. And then you'll notice we've got 3 buttons over here. Those control your digital rear view mirror that we were talking about. So if you click this forward, that turns on another camera in the back of the car. And then these buttons would basically just control the brightness of it or the angle of the camera. So I'll just bring that back. Up here, always turn this on. That means all the interior lights will come on if a door opens. But then you've got lights right here and here and here. This opens your roof. And then these 2 buttons called Genesis. So if you need roadside assistance or just have a general question, you can press this button right here. You'll call them right through the car. If you press this one, you have to really, really mean it, because the cops will show up. That's your SOS button. It calls their dispatch line and everything. Okay. All right, we're gonna make a couple last adjustments. We're gonna fine tune a couple things here. I always like to just get the sound all dialed in. So you'll press your setup button, and then you'll go to sound. Now, with this one if your car has a Bang & Olufsen system, they don't use a treble, mid, and bass. You kind of have to just dial in where, just drag your finger to what sounds best. And I've found that down here in the bottom right is a really good spot. So once again, personal preference, but I like it right there. Nice and clear, nice and powerful. You can go to premium sound. You can kind of dial up the surround sound option on there as well. And then another fun thing that we can do is we can do your ambient lighting. So it's going to be kind of hard to see during the day, but you're going to love it at night. Again, we're going to start with our setup button, and we're going to select vehicle, And you're going to twist this down to lights, and then ambient lighting, and then you just go down. Right now I've got it linked to drive mode, so I'm going to uncheck that first. And just so you know, to answer that, like what that means is, if it's linked to drive mode, that means when you're in sport, all your lights will be red. In eco, everything's going to go green. Custom, it'll be blue. So I'm just going to match something with, I'll just go with blue just to match all the other blue. So you're not going to see it right now, but yeah, there'll be lights in the pockets and underneath and everything. So now you can also bump over here to brightness, and you can adjust your brightness there. You can even turn off this dimmed and dark so it doesn't dim at all at night. So that will really pop. Another fun thing that we can do is, you'll notice that we've got a white car right here and a white car in all of our settings. The car that I'm sitting in is actually white, so I don't need to change it. But if you've got like a red or, you know, a different color, and you want all your settings and everything to match the color of your car, what you want to do is you're going to start with your setup button, and then you're going to twist until you get to the screen theme / layout, and then you just go down here to exterior color and twist through those, and you'll notice it's giving me changing all the different colors as you twist. So I'll just leave it on white for now. Okay, awesome. You know what? That is pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. I know there's a ton when it comes to the GV60 and electric vehicles. This is the performance, so it's gonna this has all of the features. So if you've got like a standard or an advanced, you might not have everything that we went over. But if there's something that you want me to cover, let me know. Please subscribe to my channel as well. That helps me out. And we will talk to you later. See ya.